All right, let's dive into the world of algorithmic trading. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Robots making millions a second, right? Forget all that Hollywood stuff. Today, we're going to talk about what it really is, building a disciplined, data-driven system for the markets. So if you're ready to look past the hype and actually understand how a real trading machine is built from the ground up, you are in the right place. Let's get into it.
So let's think of ourselves as architects here. This is our blueprint. First, we're going to lay the foundation, which is all about choosing a system over an opinion. Then we'll install the engine. This is the mathematical heart of the whole thing. After that, we'll look at the mechanics, the actual rules. Then, crucially, we'll build in the safety features. And finally, we'll go over the operator's manual, because a machine is only as good as the person running it.
Okay, first things first, the foundation. And I gotta tell you, this is the most critical mindset shift you have to make. It's all about moving away from gut feelings and subjective guesses and towards cold, hard, objective rules.
And this slide really nails the central conflict. It's the big showdown, gut versus data. On one side, you've got discretionary trading. It's driven by your intuition, what you saw in the news, your opinions, your feelings. But on the other side, you have systematic trading. And here, every single move is dictated by a rule that you've already defined, tested, and proven with data. Emotion is just not part of the equation. The system makes the call, not you.
So with that foundation in place, it's time to install the engine. This is the mathematical core that determines if our entire system even has a chance of being profitable, or if it's basically designed to fail from the start.
So that begs a huge question, right? How can you possibly know if a strategy has a real statistical edge before you put any real money on the line? Well, the answer comes down to one incredibly powerful metric.
And that metric is called expected value. You can think of it as the ultimate bouncer at the door of your trading system. If the expected value is positive, okay, you've got a statistical edge. You can come in. But if it's negative, the strategy gets thrown out. Period. It doesn't matter how good it feels or how often it seems to win. If the expected value is negative, over the long haul, it's a losing game.
And here's the actual math behind it. Don't let it intimidate you. It's actually pretty simple. It's all about balance. The formula just weighs two things: how often you win times how much you win, against how often you lose times how much you lose. This is so important because it proves it's not just about being right. It's about making sure your winning trades are big enough to more than cover all of your inevitable losing trades.
All right, so we have our foundation and our engine. Now we got to assemble the actual mechanics, the specific, measurable rules that tell the machine exactly what to do and when. No ambiguity.
So think about it like this. A system only works if every single variable can be measured. The entry signal can't be a hunch, it has to be a specific data point. The exit can't be based on a feeling of greed or fear, it has to be a pre-planned rule. Your stop loss, your take profit, even how much you trade, it's all calculated. This is what guarantees that the system runs the same exact way every single time.
And this brings us to one of the biggest traps in trading. People get absolutely obsessed with their win rate. They think if they're winning most of the time, they must be making money. But that is a very, very dangerous assumption.
Just look at this comparison. System A, it looks incredible, right? An 80% win rate. But look closer. Its wins are tiny, and they get completely wiped out by one big loss. The expected value is negative. Now check out System B. It loses more often than it wins, only a 40% win rate. But its wins are 3 times bigger than its losses. Over time, System B is the real moneymaker. It proves that how much you win is just as important as how often you win.
This brings us to a part of our machine that is absolutely non-negotiable: the safety features. In algorithmic trading, risk management isn't something you think about. It's literally built into the system's DNA right from the very start. Just let that sink in for a second. Risk management is part of the code. It's not an emotional decision you make when the market is going crazy. It's an automated, unemotional, predefined rule that runs no matter what.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it means you have a fixed percentage of your capital at risk on every single trade. It means the system has a built-in circuit breaker, a kill switch, to stop trading if you hit a maximum loss limit. It means your position size is calculated by the algorithm, not guessed based on how confident you feel. It's all designed to remove the single biggest point of failure in any trading plan: you and your emotion.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important part, the operator's manual. The system, the machine, is only as good as the discipline of the person who's actually running it. And this requires a whole new way of thinking.
You have to burn this idea into your brain. The outcome of any single trade, I don't care if it's a huge win or a crushing loss, is completely meaningless. It's statistically irrelevant, it's just random noise.
Because this is where the real story is told. The true performance of your system, your actual edge, only shows up over a huge sample size. We're talking hundreds, even thousands of trades. You have to learn to think in probabilities and distributions, not in single outcomes.
So what's your job then? Well, it's simple, but it's not easy. Your job is to execute with perfect discipline. You take every single valid signal the system gives you. You never, ever skip a trade because you have a bad feeling about it. You trust the math. And you start to see losses not as failures, but as a calculated, expected, and totally necessary cost of doing business.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway, the core philosophy of this whole thing. Algorithmic trading isn't about having a crystal ball. It's not about predicting the future. It's about using data to find a small, repeatable inefficiency in the market, a tiny statistical edge, and then just hitting that edge over and over and over again with flawless discipline.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final thought. This mindset, it's not just about trading. If the goal isn't to predict the future, but to profit from probability, where else in your life could that apply? What's one process in your work, or even your personal life, that's currently based on gut feeling, that could be totally transformed with a data-driven system? Something to think about.